Hey, Seminole State family. Welcome to Research Rally Live. We are faculty librarians at Seminole State College of Florida. I'm Nicole.
Yo soy Jason.
And I'm Roz.
And we want to spend the next 30 minutes doing research with you. We're about to search, sift, sort, and suss our way through several sources. As always, we want to hear from you in the chat, especially if you have a research question. But before we get into that, we'll talk about one thing that's going on at Seminole State, and that is that tomorrow
Aspen.
we will find out if we have in fact been named the #1 community college in the whole country.
Yes, the Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence. We were in the top 10. There we are. We're bold.
Yes. So we have
Georgia,
been
California, Texas, Washington.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Only one in Florida this
New Jersey,
year.
Alabama.
We could win. Not me and Jason and Ross and you guys, but like we could win $1 million for the college. So this will be a really big deal. If we win this, you will definitely hear about it tomorrow. Especially, I would say, I want to link everybody up with our Instagram at NerdbirdSSC, because I know that it'll definitely be announced on there, among other places at the college. But this is kind of a big deal, right, Jason? And I hear
huge deal, Nicole. Huge. Yes,
Sure.
I'll be at the Oviedo campus, getting everyone excited. They're going to showcase each of the 10 schools. They're going to do camera cutaways, live check-ins to the different campuses. I imagine we're not the only campus doing viewing parties. So this is a big deal. It's a big honor to be in the top 10. And that's out of 1,000, if not 1,000, but maybe thousands of community colleges across the United States. So big honor to be in the top 10 as a finalist. And then tomorrow is the big reveal. So fingers crossed for Seminole State College of Florida. Yes.
So as we usually do, we're gonna do research for the next half hour. Jason, do we have some IDS students?
We do. We have a few. Let's see here. We'll pop them up here. Hello. Okay. Kimberly. Oh, Fabiola. Hi. Welcome back, Fabiola. All right. We see you. Great. There's 3 eyeballs on the counter there times 4 trillion. There's a gazillion, 575,426 watching.
All right. So
that's an estimate, not an exact number.
Well, you're the numbers man. You tell me what the numbers are and I trust you. I
did. That's trustworthy.
So again, we are faculty librarians at Seminole State. So if you are watching now or on the replay and you're a student here, if you need help with research, hey, Kardasha, if you need help with, why are you laughing at me?
You need research help, hey.
If you need research help, citations, we're like academic coaches. We don't do the work for you, but like we coach you through the process of doing research, doing a research paper. The Academic Success Center tutors, they will help you literally with how to write, but we help you like kind of get what you need to write the paper and cite those resources properly. And honestly, I always tell people, even if you don't know if we're the right person for what you need, our job is to answer questions. So if you ask us a question, we like literally are not supposed to turn you away ever. We will find the person that can help you if we ourselves, the librarians, cannot help you. So just come and ask us anything, literally. I'm not exaggerating, right, guys? Not exaggerating.
That's right, Nicole. So, Nicole is not exaggerating.
No, I'm not. I'm like making a big deal about it because I'm very serious. Ask us anything. Okay. So today we're talking about do facial fillers last forever. So
facial fillers.
And we could turn this into a paper topic. I usually get inspired by something I just happen to see on like an Instagram reel or scroll, right? So I saw, and I think I could scroll down to the exact picture. Okay, I saw a picture of Miss Lauren Sanchez, soon to be Lauren Bezos, who has been a previous subject on Research Rally Live when we talked about the fashion choices affect your social status. Anyway, but that's not what we're talking about today. And I saw her face, and I'm going to go on a limb and guess, okay, this was the event where I really was like, oh my gosh, her face though. I'm
Students
seeing,
in the
I'm
chat, let
guessing
me know what a facial
facelift.
filler is. What's a facial filler?
Okay.
Students in the chat,
I'm learning
give me
too.
give Ross and I
Yeah,
your
because
definition. Keep rolling, Nicole. You're going. You're going.
okay,
Keep going.
but facelift aside, I'm guessing facelifts here, but the fillers and the lips for sure. Okay, I think there's some before and after. Lauren Sanchez, before and after. Okay, and these pictures just got me like, okay, so this is like several years ago. You see the lips. Okay, they're like full, but then look this. You see that? You see the difference, fellas?
Okay, so on the
Yeah.
top is the before. Okay, so then these are
Yes.
fillers. Okay, so you're putting things in. Someone is putting things into their lips to make them more full, more pouty, more robust, whatever. What
Yes.
what is the contents of that? What is that made of?
Well, I Googled that. And this is where I think if I was like kind of obsessed, I wouldn't say obsessed, fascinated by this process that people do where they why they want to like inject something in their body for a certain aesthetic look. Now, facial fillers, from my limited research, it can be to have like an effect like your skin smooths out, your cheekbones might be in a better place, like a higher place to kind of enhance your look, fuller lips. You might get injectables under your eyes if you have dark eye circles, which I have the fuzzer thing on my thing on my computer, but I have a really bad dark eye circles. You can't tell right now as bad because I have the fuzz thing. What's the fuzz thing? Where you can edit your appearance and an online application.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm gatekeeping. I'm gatekeeping, guys. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, so a human being pays somebody to put things into their face, assuming that the person thinks that this is going to make themselves look the way that society might think that a good-looking person looks. Okay, I'm confused. So you slice into your lip, you put the thing in the lip, you sew up the lip. Is that what we're doing, or is it like a needle injection? Is it like a fluid? You were on the page before of what it was. And students, I'm asking all these questions because I need to answer the hypothetical. Do facial features last forever? We know that when we drink water out of a plastic bottle at this point in time, which didn't used to be the way it was back in the day. Now we have microplastics all in our body, and I think that those will last, I think, forever. I'm not really sure on that. Okay. Oh, so this is the person getting it in their face on the second one?
Injectables.
Okay, so it's an injectable. Okay, this is gross. And then how long? Okay, the person in them. Okay, they're going for it. And how many is it? You do a one and done. You do a one
well,
syringe of goop, and then you're in and you're done.
No.
Multiples.
Well, you could stop, but
is that the after picture of the woman? Who's that?
Okay, that's
what
a
just
doctor
happened?
that I'm. No, that's a plastic surgeon who I'm sure has had fillers. Okay, so back to what are facial fillers made of?
Please.
They can be made of different things. And one of the most popular ones is hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
And again, this is an AI overview. So this is my jumping point. This is not a source that I would like trust for I need to do much more research, right? But the AI overview gives us a starting point. Hyaluronic acid, which is supposedly like natural, but I think we would need to investigate that a little further. And then some other ingredients that sound a little bit more chemically or toxic or produced in a lab, synthetic. So I might be inclined to be like, ugh, I wouldn't want that. But like, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of injections. So I don't think if I can avoid it, I don't want anything injected under my skin, into my body. Personal opinion. I started when I went down the rabbit hole of like mainly looking at, I did this video and a few others. Okay. There's lots of people talking about it. The thing for me was there's MRIs, CAT scans, I think, which is one of those types of things that show that like the filler, it migrates and it moves. It doesn't like dissolve inside your body, but it stays in your body. And if I were to get fillers injected like in my cheeks to give me a cheekbone look, more of a defined cheekbone, at some point in time, it could depend on different factors. That filler, physical substance, is going to migrate somewhere else in my face. It could go up, it could go down.
Is that what happened to what's her face?
Who?
Who is one of the Real Housewives? Doesn't she have a facial distortion at this point in time?
Oh, okay.
I mean, I
face thing.
No, you know who I'm talking about. She's Brandy Glanville. Is that her name?
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Let me look her up.
And I guess I can't really speak down on this because I mean, as somebody who has tattoos,
okay.
Right? I mean, I'm tattooed, so the ink, the ink is there unless you remove it. Now, I wonder, can you do? Did you react to her
trigger
face?
Warning. Trigger warning.
Or maybe don't show it. Don't show it then. Don't show.
It's not that bad. No, I am a professional squeamish person. Like, I am the most squeamish person in like the whole entire universe, and I can stand this. But I'm just saying, this is not how you want to look.
Okay, and just to jump back in time, when you said the thing about the thing, this is who I thought of, right?
Okay.
It looks like it's moving around in the face. By the way, we haven't gotten any research yet. We're still trying to figure out what facial fillers are. Do they last forever? So this is, again, I put it in the chat, hyaluronic acid, which apparently WebMD says is not harmful. It's used in the eyes and joints. Okay, it's used as a cushion and a lubricant in the joints and other issues. Last time I checked, the lip is not a joint, and the face is not other dry eyes and mouth. Anyway, so that goes into your body. Great. So that could stay there forever, and you're using it for what? Now, what about when people get them removed? We're just having a conversation really quick. What about when you get them removed? Is it not really removed?
Well, they can, and this doctor this is a plastic surgeon, so this is someone that makes money off this stuff, but in his videos, or at least in this video, and I watch a little bit of another one, he says like a really good plastic surgeon won't just like want you to get a bunch of stuff so they make a bunch of money. They're actually like concerned about the aesthetic, like what's best for the person, and that for the aesthetics or the health. So where was I going with that? He said you can squeeze it out and stuff. Like, he squeezes out old fillers when he does surgery on people. Okay, and there's also some of the filler ingredients, which I don't know if hyaluronic acid can be dissolved with another chemical, but some of the fillers can be dissolved with a chemical. So it like melts, but then I'm still like, but it doesn't leave your body if it gets dissolved by another chemical, I don't think. Now, Ross, I see you've started some searching, because again, we could turn anything into a research paper, and if this is something that interests you, like, do a paper on something that interests you. So what was your thoughts on making this a topic? Like, I see you started to search.
Well, so I was kind of using that hyaluronic acid thing, and then I also saw on your search screen, Nicole, like the word dermal fillers, and I was like, ooh, I bet that's like a more scientific name for this. So I ran a search, kind of a complex search, but I was trying to find anything that talked about hyaluronic acid or dermal fillers, and I used the word longevity because I couldn't think of another way to say like forever, and it actually worked. To my surprise, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. But I actually found several sources that looked at the longevity of hyaluronic acid. And
I see another, and diffusion. So I used the term migration, but diffusion might be another way to describe how the filler material spreads in the face. So again, we're coming up with more technical terms upon our first search. Okay. So Ross, we chatted about this really quick earlier today, and you mentioned that this might be a topic where students, like many times in research papers, students won't find articles or book chapters or newspaper articles, whatever it may be, that literally speak to answering a question directly. They need to find information that almost like, what's the word in a trial? Consequential evidence? No, that's not it. Circumstantial. Thank you. Circumstantial evidence that you kind of like, okay, it supports your claim, but not directly. you almost have to read through the. I cannot think today. Again, it doesn't tell you directly. So what are your thoughts about the results on this list?
I was actually really surprised because I kind of didn't expect to find a lot that was specifically on the longevity of this, and kind of like what you're saying, Nicole. I was sort of looking more for, when we're doing research, we're looking for evidence to help answer our question, and sometimes it's direct evidence. Like this is pretty direct when it says the longevity of this filler.
Okay.
But what I thought might happen is we might find sources that talk about how it impacts, skin over time or something like that. And we might have to make the inference that it does seem like these clinical trials are lasting a long time. We might have to come up with the answer ourselves based on the evidence. In this case, I'm actually a little humbled here. I thought we would find something different, and I found an article that says the longevity of hyaluronic acid dermal filler. They use both of my words in there.
Okay, that one's from 2024. I noticed the other one was from 2011, and I would venture to guess that hyaluronic acid-based fillers probably have changed. Like they've probably been, the technology. So I would argue that an article from 2011, we might want to make sure that the composition of what they're actually studying, the composition of the filler is comparable with what's used today. Just because there'd be a difference.
And Kimberly had some good suggestions in the chat. I would probably go back up to exactly what was yellow underline Ross on result number 1. That keyword string is probably the best one that you put in there. It
hit both of the things I tried in one shot. So that's pretty good.
So you can even rearrange that topic sentence, do facial fillers last forever? You can probably do even the longevity or the lasting effects of hyaluronic or the but I think we've looked at the outside sources so far, which I put in the chat. It's either going to be WebMD or also the Mayo Clinic, and both of those two are reputable quality sources. They both said it's, again, I'll use air quotes, that it's safe. Again, the person is they're putting it into their lips, Nicole, and it's not rocket fuel. It's not hydraulic acid. It's just something that's going into the space of the lip or whatever. And it can be removed. It can be removed, right? So again, it's not gasoline.
Okay. And that's a good point because even if it's in my body forever, maybe it doesn't matter because.
That's what I'm saying. That's just it. I mean, aren't we? There's got to be. I mentioned the microplastics. There's got to be stuff that's kind of going around, but none of us here on the channel are doctors. We're not doctors. There's no medical advice here. I'm curious. We all have the lips. What's in the lip? What's in there? You could put stuff in and then take it out. It's just fat. So you're putting this stuff in your butt. I'm just confused on what I guess I don't understand what the purpose of doing it is, and then removing it a month, a week, a year later. I don't get that. Is it for an awards show? Is it just to take the pictures on Instagram to get the likes and then you remove it? I'm confused.
I'll Google
because you would think you would keep doing it, right, Ross? Even though I'm assuming you and I won't be doing this procedure.
I have no plans.
So, and thank you for the share, Ross. And neither do I. I just wonder. I would think you'd want it. Would they shrink? Would the lip shrink after a while? Does the hyaluronic acid, does that?
No,
it's like air on tires. Are the tires going to start to go back to normal and you have to keep doing it? I don't know. I'm confused.
Diffuses, it can travel.
Turned out to be 12 months.
Yeah, it seems like this doesn't really last all that long.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know enough about the topic myself. So that's the first thing that caught my eye, though, is it says, they either last, up to 2 years. Well, okay, that's not forever, but it's not just a week or whatever. So maybe, I don't know.
And on the prompt, Nicole, what did you mean? You created this. You're our professor for this hypothetical prompt. What do you mean last forever? Because Ross, we just got 12 months and then maybe 2 years. What does last forever mean? You mean the effects, that the actual fluid stays in your body? What?
Well, there's 2 parts. So the effect doesn't last because the filler moves, it migrates or diffuses to different parts of your face.
So does it
So
stay
there's
forever?
that, but then it migrates and it's still in your body. So if there are bad effects of that material being in your body, let me show you really quick an example of lip filler migration, where they had lip filler and you see this extra lip up here. That's common after the lips are filled with lip filler, and I guess a matter of months, year, it could vary a bit depending on the person. It migrated up above her lip, and like you can't, like there are videos online of people like massaging their filler back down into the spot they want it, but that's not foolproof. And I also
it's ultimately Mr. Potato Head. Can you just move the parts around? Is that what we're doing? Is that what you're paying somebody for? How much does this cost? Nicole, how much does this cost? If I want to go get this right now, how much am I paying?
You're paying hundreds of dollars depending on the provider. Like you're dropping at least, I think, $500 on lip filler and up. Like, so it's not just like if you're going to someone that only charges you like $150, you probably don't want to be at that clinic anyway. It's kind of like a get what you pay for type of situation, like most products that we buy. And I want to point out it's rare, but you know, your body can reject like other stuff. Like if you have a transplanted organ, which is something that could like save your life, right? You wouldn't take the chance on like it being rejected to not have the organ transplant. But yes, your body can reject facial fillers because it is a foreign substance. But according to the AI overview and just looking at it, it's rare. Okay, so those would be considerations, but you wouldn't know until you did it. And I feel like that's a huge gamble for, I think one of our students pointed out in the comments. So it's like a revolving door of like just doing it over and over again. It's like a trap.
Yeah.
And, that's what it seems like.
So and like if we took it away from the lip filler for a minute and we put it into something that I've never done, I never will do, but something that maybe I can more understand would be something like a steroid. So what I'm getting at is like, if you take a steroid, traditionally, the person just gets just big and ripped, right? You could see them maybe 100 yards away, maybe 50 yards away. You could see this person has muscles, whatever the gender is, right? What I'm getting at here is this seems to be very intimate, or more specifically, this is an old school camera, by the way, young folks. I guess this is my camera nowadays. It seems to be just for the pictures, Ross. Like it seems to be like these are Hollywood or celebrity folks, and they're either going to put it on their gram or they're just going to be, you know, at the Oscars. Do you understand what I'm saying, Nicole? Like this seems like such a tight close up, and the other one seems like more of a, so this almost seems more who you go to the place, you pay the money, the person puts the stuff in your lips. I'm sure there's that's got to be a weird day. Like, well, you're talking like this now, you got the lips or whatever. And then the photo shoot's done. And then what, do you go back and you take them out? Or you got 100 million likes on Instagram? And now, I guess I'm saying now what? Oh,
Trigger warning.
What's going on?
Okay, so here's an example of someone that,
what happened?
this is not for irony. They are not posing for this picture, probably for social media, for ironic purposes. Like, they are like, I want to show myself. I look good. I would argue that this person does not look very human. I would argue that this person probably looked better just without all of these extras going on. This is probably more than just filler. This is probably implants. But like, I'm sure lips, filler, probably other Botox and other injectables, because there's like no wrinkles, no, you know, it's a very like flat face. But this is an example of like, it's like that hamster wheel of like, it's a moving target. When will I reach perfection? I can't. This person obviously thought I need to keep going to look my best. And now we see them, and arguably this is not a good look.
So in the facial fillers, will they last forever? And we could probably get rid of this picture here. If we're going back to the research, like, so that's where we are. We've established that the facial fillers uses this particular brand, hyaluronic acid. We've established that that's one of the types. It's probably different types that you can get. Again, Supreme, unleaded, regular gasoline. You got different options. Then you go and get that, and that costs a certain amount of money. But we've also seen or heard or verified via the research that it can move. It can move around from your lips. It can move to a different destination, and then it probably lasts, Ross pulled up the article, 12 months to maybe 2 years. So, I mean, do we have enough for our research paper at this point in time? Did we find enough quality sources? Like, do facial fillers last forever?
I'll put Ross's screenshot back up. I mean, I think rephrasing this would be
safety and
complication. Is the longevity of facial fillers damaging to people's health? Something like that, right? We could pose it like that.
Yes, agreed. But what we haven't gotten into
a health risk.
It was said in the chat, I think it was Kimberly, if you keep doing this and 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 doing this, now are we getting into trouble with regard to human safety? Right? You did it the once. It lasts 12 months. We have already established that it's not particularly unhealthy. It's not harmful to the body. But what about multiple and multiple and multiple injections with a syringe in the lip?
Ross,
that can't be good.
The result that was a little bit further up, and by the way, Ross he's showing the library search engine. Mm-hmm. So this is how we find resources that we can access, and students and faculty and staff can access free of charge, but you do have to sign in. The one it was like something about stem cell created fillers.
I did see that one. This one
right
here
there.
About animal, stem cells in animals.
So we could get into some ethical concerns. We might need to do more research and see, maybe this is a whole nother topic, like what are the ethical concerns for manufactured facial fillers if they're made with animal stem cells. That might go into like animal testing. If you're against that, this could be a whole nother aspect. This is a whole nother rabbit hole of this topic. This is a peer-reviewed journal. So this is a great example of most of the things you will find in the library catalog. Obviously, we did some Googling today, and librarians Google every day. We don't take Google off the table, but we know that usually it's our starting point. And if we do want to use a web page that we find on Google, we're going to be evaluating it and sifting it really good to make sure that it's quality, credible information that we would want to include on as one of our references for a paper here at college. So, and that one was after behind an unpaywall. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I mean, we're finding it in the catalog.
I'm pleasantly surprised at how much research there is on this topic. Like I didn't know what to expect.
I think there's a lot, Ross, because a lot of folks are doing it. Yeah, and I don't know if it's all just in Hollywood or where it's being done. But maybe there's got to be like a TikTok or a socials. Students in the chat, have you heard of this before? Like, have you seen reels of this, or have you seen videos? Is this the thing? Asking for a friend. I'm not particularly sure, but I guess I've heard about it with famous people. But again, my sort of point of view, I'm still standing on it. Like, it seems to me that you'd get the glow up for an event or for like a picture or something, but to have it for 12 months and then to go back and get it again, I guess somebody needs to explain what that is to me. As I said, I can see if somebody wants to get big and strong and go into the NFL, or someone wants to do something, to their 85 piercings or whatever the thing is. This particular body modification, I don't get it. And I don't understand where it goes into the lip. Is it the same every time? I don't know. I don't get it.
Arguably, I would say, from my perspective, this facial fillers are almost an extension of a cosmetic. Like, okay, I've got like mascara. I've got like an eyebrow pencil where I darken my eyebrows and comb them up a little bit. I put on eyeliner sometimes. I have lip gloss. I feel like these cosmetic procedures are an extension of cosmetic enhancements. I would also say that the impact of social media filters, like filters that when you post on social media, you can pick to kind of like make a filter of your face. And I think I've seen this online before, that has affected the uptick of cosmetic procedures, many of which are the facial fillers. So that could be a separate but related topic. And because, we have lots of research about social media and the impacts of social media in our databases. So Yeah, I think that's affected a lot, Jason, because when we were growing up, we didn't have you get used to seeing your face with a filter when you post on Snapchat or post on TikTok, and then you look in the mirror when you wake up in the morning and you feel horrible about yourself because you have that comparison all day of like, oh, I put this filter and I look so good on there. I look horrible naturally. I need to do something about it. I think that's a big part of it too.
So it's a social construct, and it's a reflection of people, how they feel in society and how they look based on the filters from social media apps. And everything that I just said, I would most likely put that all in my paper to try to reinforce my argument.
That could
But
be a whole
I think
nother
we've solved
paper,
the puzzle. That could be a whole nother paper for sure. Where do they come from and how did they come? I mean, this wasn't 20 years ago. You weren't doing facial fillers 20 years ago. What would happen is you'd run after somebody in the parking lot of the high school and say, hey, I'm coming. And then you trip over the speed bump in the parking lot, and then you fall on your face, and then you have a fat lip. And then that's how your lip got real fat.
Is that a true
that's how that
story?
works.
Is that a true
No,
story?
I'm just saying. No, asking for a friend. Asking for a friend.
All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us today. How many people again, Jason?
87 billion. 475
remember, we are
trillion.
librarians. Got it. We are librarians. We're here to help you with research, citations, information needs. There's no question too big, no question too small, no question too weird. We want to hear it all. We can save you time, stress. So why haven't we heard from you yet? You can use make a research appointment or use 24/7 library chat. Those contact options are on our website. And if you like hanging out with librarians, you can give us a like, a share, and a subscribe so we can see you next time. All right. End stream button. Okay, Jason, you trust me. You don't. Oh,
Don't do it. I was thinking of doing it. I don't know. The holidays.
Perfection.
Okay, you said it, not me. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.